So hello there everyone and welcome back to Corey Loses, where today we are once again continuing with our Phoenix Rising playthrough. We are going to be doing this live once again with Evil Bob the Bob for the first probably episode worth. So hi Bob.
Hello.
And so I guess we should take a quick look at what the galaxy looks like right now. Over in the west we have our reborn, or our newly formed Pentastar alignment. We're going to be trying to take Moonlinst and Jameis, and then maybe Debrillion today. The biggest opposition seems to be in the middle. We do have a few planets over in the east side that we'll probably have to build up some defenses on, but it's probably going to be a fairly long stream today. I need to get about the next 8 episodes worth of this series done before I leave on. I'm going to a cottage for part of the week after next with my family, and I'm going to be in Niagara on either side of that for a little bit. So I need to get ahead. So we'll be doing this stream. We won't have one next week. I might have to pre-record, or I might have to record some episodes regularly, and then if we're not done the series by then, we will have the regular stream when I'm back. But I guess we will get started over here. Might want to research things. Yeah, I'm mostly focusing on researching the acclamator upgrades, and probably the dreadnought after that. But some anti-fighter would probably be a nice thing to have. Where are our ground forces? Is this all of you? We have these guys. Yeah, so that should be enough if we can put them all together.
Destination set.
So there's an unfortunate bug that I discovered today, because of course that's how these things go. The reason that you may find the CSA doesn't actually really do anything, because for some reason, I say for some reason, due to my own not paying attention enough, I forgot to actually add in the full tech tree to the AI for the CSA. So the only units they can build are Espo troopers and Y-wings. So they're not going to be particularly challenging in this particular GC, unfortunately.
Oh, well, they don't seem to have too much territory to begin with, so I'm sure the rebels and the rest of the galaxy will give us enough of a fight. But we'll have to read. Is that something that's still in the latest patch that just went through, or is it just in this version?
That's just in this version. I literally just today hotfixed to fix that problem.
Okay, well, actually, so I guess we should touch on that. There is another patch that has come out since our last episode, or since our last stream. Do you want to talk a little bit about... We're not using it for this playthrough because I want to still use the save, but do you want to talk a little bit about what went into the changes for that?
Sure, let me just bring up the notes, because I can never remember, because I patch too often.
Station ready.
Well, I think the new Juggernaut and Gladiator models are in that, right?
Yes, so the A5 Juggernaut now has an updated model. There's currently some slight collision issues with it, so it may be a little invincible in some cases. The CSA now get the battle droid, the Droidica, and the Strikebreaker, which are a bunch of nice units for them. The Rebels get the YT-2400 Light Freighter and the AAC-1 Speeder Tank, and the Empire get the PX-4 Mobile Command Base. I also recently added the updated ICW Gladiator class Star Destroyer model for Empire and CSA, and they've all been added to Skirmish. So a big glut of new models.
Oh no.
And I've also recently added in...
No. No. Sorry, keep going.
And I've also recently added... Oh yeah, this map, yeah. I also recently added... It's okay, it's actually full of stuff, so we'll have stuff to fight.
Right away, sir.
But I also recently added in a new guide section, so when you load up a GC for the first time, it'll pop up with the spiel, but it will also have a load of entries titled guide : something like production or economy. And that's basically an in-game manual, so that you can access and view all the information about the mod that's different to vanilla.
Wait, is this the new A5 model? Where do I have it? Was it in 4?
It might have been in before. But yeah, that is the new A5 model, so congrats. Oh, I know what it is. The A5 model is in the version you're playing, I think. It's just that
Ready.
the icon wasn't updated for the base model.
Okay, for some reason I thought you hadn't pushed
For
it
the
with,
platoon model.
Awaiting orders. Copy.
but you did, so never mind.
Okay, well there we are. There's the fancy new A5 Juggernaut, looking like an A5 Juggernaut instead of a scaled down B5 Juggernaut.
Give me a target.
Right, I'm gonna try to take out this turbo laser from farther away. Who's gonna give me... Do I have anyone that's gonna... Nope, these are all Navy people. Yep. Oh well.
Yeah, if you had air speeders, Kreb might give you some bonuses, but you don't have air speeders. So this is just going to be smashing your head against the wall and pathfinding a bit.
Transport here.
We should be able to take this down before our ATTE goes down. Then we can heal it up.
Warm up. Awaiting your orders. Copy. Destination available.
We need to find a build pad. This map is criminally underrated. No.
Leading to target.
We'll clear the way.
No.
On my way, sir.
No.
Bombers.
Actually, I'm going to use this because it'll do map reveal and shoot stuff as it goes. This being PR. Oh, or it'll get shot as it goes.
Yeah, turbo lasers are one of the best anti-bomber emplacements.
Yeah.
Target locked.
Oh, there goes the first one. That one might make it.
Transport ready.
Okay, you're just going to go in a straight line down here.
Roger that.
Juggernaut
Whereas you are going to keep going down there.
Warm up.
armored transport ready. Right
The
away.
Juggernaut is getting stuck.
Ready. Copy that. Heading out.
Yes, Commander. Awaiting orders.
Thankfully, the scale and speed of Phoenix Rising units fit this map surprisingly well. So the fact that you're, you know, if you can get your A5s moving quickly down these roads, they can
Yeah.
cross the map very fast.
Unfortunately, they got stuck in the corner there, so it blocked them, and now they're...
Yeah, because
I've lost
as
one of
usual,
them.
Empire at War Strikes Back.
Yeah. Who is Evil Bob? He is the developer for Phoenix Rising, and also a developer of Thrawn's Revenge.
Ready.
So he is my advisor droid for this series.
At your command.
Beat boop tactics.
En route.
See? It's convincing.
Yes, Commander.
Alright, we need our repair station. We need that, even though we don't really have that much more to bring down, but whatever.
Awaiting orders.
And... I'm not sure which direction I can really...
Sorry, carry on.
Copy.
Reporting.
well, go ahead. I'm just saying I'm not sure which direction I should go to avoid this turbo laser.
Away from it. The Archie Bunker is asking, being new to this mod, what dictates what class of shipyards you can build? Is it that based on what level your space colony is at? And that is correct. Callum is correct. That's
I copy.
what you need. Basically, so for level 5 space colony, you get up to level 5 shipyards.
I'll be there, sir. Proceeding.
Is there a game like this for Android? No.
Yes, Commander. We are ready and waiting.
There are some, like... I think most of the Star Wars games for Android tend to be like the Galaxy of Hero or whatever it's called.
Reporting.
There's some Star Wars RTS which actually ended up canonizing a bunch of old, like canonized some EAW stuff. It canonized some old, like I think the Heavy Tracker got canonized in it, for example.
Yes, sir.
Where are you going? Turn around.
Going.
Well, don't turn around, just roll the other way.
Heading out.
Did we lose one of the ATAPs coming in here? I think we did.
Here.
Give me a target.
Alright, so we'll regroup in here. I'm not sure if there's going to be a turbo laser out that way, but...
Transport ready. This way.
Star Wars Galactic Defense.
Bomber
That's the
squadron
closest you're gonna get.
reporting. Commencing bombing run.
Question for Evil Bob. ATTEs do more damage to turbo lasers when it's in the range of the turbo laser, but looks like the range of the turbo laser is 30% further than its original range. So why decrease the damage of the ATTE to the turbo laser?
Bombardment incoming.
Here we go.
I'm not entirely sure what that question means, but I mean, turbo lasers in the mod outrange mass drivers usually. You can get the heavy mass driver for the ATT once you upgrade now. I believe that'll be along the same kind of lines as the range of the turbo laser itself. ATTs are not brilliant, to be honest. Like, they have the armor they should have. They have the kind of weakish armor they should have. And in general, they're just kind of anti-infantry support vehicles more than anything else.
Is it supposed to be early Empire time? A lot of... Yeah, so this is actually right after the Empire form, basically, Michael. Sorry.
Reporting. Fallout troops.
Yeah, so you're still using clones in some cases. You're still using Clone Wars equipment.
Yes,
It's essentially
let's move
like
out.
Order 66 has just happened. Declaration of New Orders just happened.
Yes,
Here we are.
Armored transport ready. Ready.
Affirmative, sir.
Yes, Ragnarok of D-War. This mod is indeed still being made. It was dead for a while,
Yes,
but it is no longer dead.
Armed and
So
ready.
it's
It
been
was-
updated a lot over the past year and a half.
Let's go.
It was pretty standard for like a lot of mods that came out in the 2010 to 2012 range to take
Keep
a
going.
long time between versions, and then this year, last year, they all started releasing again.
Ready.
Happened with AOTR, TR, PR, anything that
Transport ready.
Ends with an
has
R.
with an R, yeah.
Republic at War, Raw.
Starts with an R.
Over there.
Yeah, the ATTA, I believe, is... I'm not sure, did you just switch the model, or did you add
Acknowledged.
the ATT with our model?
This has been
Reporting in.
added. So it's
Okay.
replaced the AT-AT as the starting tech walker for the Empire. You have to research AT-ATs now,
Roger
which
that.
I strongly suggest you do if you need anti.
I am, that is currently what's happening in our playthrough, actually.
Proceeding to target.
We have
Reporting in.
AT-ATs being researched.
Awaiting your orders. Weapons armed. Suppressive fire. Walker moving to attack. Your orders.
The clone and droid uprisings aren't in this GC specifically. If those get added, they will be added to a story GC. These sandbox GCs are basically a pure what-if scenario where the player can do whatever they want. There's some random missions, which I believe Corey's been given a couple of those, but they are not guided by any kind of historical
Your lead.
stuff.
What is the directive?
It's quite likely there will be an immediate post-war, post-Clone War kind of mop-up campaign for the Empire, and/or fight-back campaign for the Rebels. So we'll see how that goes.
Yes, sir.
Alright, I'm gonna do one more scouting run.
Commencing bombing run.
Okay, we're just gonna stop there.
The ranges of weapons in Phoenix Rising is completely different to most other mods. We have a much different scale, and as a result, our weapon range is a much different scale. I certainly don't intend to change much of that. Like, there's going to be some slight rebalancing of ground weapon ranges, but that's mostly just going to be to add intermediate ranges for intermediate power weapons that don't exist right now.
Moving out. On duty.
Is Tech 1 really Arrow 1? It doesn't really follow the same kind... Like, it's not the same kind of arrow system that you'd see in, like, ICW. You can only really say that Tech corresponds to an era and that, like, older Tech would
What are
be
your orders? Destination set.
in the earlier Tech levels, so...
At your command.
Or worse Tech would be in the earlier Tech levels.
Yes, Commander.
Yeah, so you can look at the tech trees and see, well, this thing was developed then, but it's quite low in the tech tree, but that might just be because the prerequisites to develop it are relatively
Walker
early.
moving out.
In general, the tech tries to
As you
stick
wish, General.
approximately to
Awaiting orders.
blocks of time, but it's very
Right
much
away.
just based
Your
on
assignment?
the equipment and how it was developed historically.
Awaiting orders.
Armor transport ready.
I need another build pad.
Copy. Proceeding.
Gotta drop more of our troops over here, too.
Waiting for orders.
I copy. Reporting.
Alright. Go to the repair station and get that ATTE back there before we lose all of them. You guys can get up here and take cover. Oh, is my... Hold on. I'll check that before we continue too much. Because I think I was playing Rocksmith, and then that does bad things to my microphone. Yeah, 98%. Let's turn that down a little bit. Thank you, Ragnarok. Should be a bit less boomy now.
You think people don't want to hear your mellifluous voice at the loudest volume possible?
What?
Need someone taken out.
Yes, sir.
I hate when Rocksmith... Sometimes it'll put it down to 17%, which is possibly better,
Roger that.
because then it's just that no one can hear it instead of it being incredibly loud and I'll notice sooner.
Systems operational.
Okay, most of the Espos are dying.
Form up.
That's usually what Espos do, yeah. They're pretty good at it.
Awaiting your orders.
I think we can load our guys back up into the transports and roll out on their base. Literally. Hey Trevor, how's it going?
Copy.
Okay, we haven't lost any of our vehicles in this Espo shootout. We do need to get to the barracks, otherwise they're just going to keep throwing Espos at us. So I don't think the garrisons are limited in any way.
Correct.
All out troops.
Which works well enough for the scale of Phoenix Rising.
Reporting. Orders understood.
It can only be a single platoon at a time,
Yes, Commander.
but
We are ready and waiting.
net number of platoons.
Alright, I'm going to bombing run through there.
Bombardment incoming. Unit destroyed.
Initiate bombing run. Ready.
Before this turbo laser can kill us all. There we go.
Almost there.
And you're going to keep rolling that way. Over some people,
Weapons
ideally.
loaded.
If you can make it through.
Locking on.
Transport ready.
Give me a target.
Juggernaut ready.
Let your dudes out first, and then roll.
Copy. They won't
That's
expect
some double kill right there with the bombing run and the
Armored
bombardment.
transport ready.
Well, the bombing run's going to shoot whatever it wants, so I
That's
wasn't going to trust it to take out the turret.
As you wish.
your orders.
Ready.
I'm not really in a hurry to add vehicle icons. I was trying to do it, but it doesn't work very well. It doesn't work as well as it does for infantry, and most vehicles in Phoenix Rising are big enough that you can see them pretty much all the time. The only ones that aren't really are probably speeder bikes,
Yes, come on.
but they need an overhaul in general anyway, so we'll see what happens with them.
Let's move out. Let's go.
I noticed the ATTE more glides and walks by that. So the actual original animation set for the ATTE was made in a program called Maya, which is... It was a newer version of Maya, and then that animation set got exported to 3ds Max 9 and lost a lot of the information because it's a much older program. However, when the Blender plugin is done, we'll be able to export the original intended animations, which will be much better. The other thing is that the ATTE currently doesn't have a shadow mesh, or a very good one. I think it just uses a shadow blob or something. So it won't line up with the ground as much because it's not casting a shadow. But once we're finally able to fix all the rigging issues with that, it'll look more natural in both TR and PR.
Reporting in.
It's a work in progress. This whole mod is still technically the 2.0 beta. It's going to be a work in progress for at least another 6 months, I want to say, depending on how quickly models get sorted out, really.
What are your orders?
Still got to rig the Lucre Hulk, which still scares me. That's like 300 bones or something.
Yeah, I feel better about having to re-rig it for TR, because I don't have to do that many bones.
At your command.
Pound's asking if there's any way to speed up research times. Research times can be speeded up by building your research facilities on worlds which have the research or university
Awaiting orders.
bonus.
Keep going.
And also if you have if you have a hero who has the motivation skill, they will speed up production of anything, including research. I'm probably looking to add in some kind of like scientist, like minor hero that you can produce to speed up research as well. That might happen. See how it goes. See how much time I have for that kind of thing.
Attack sensors are engaged.
Okay, so I think we're gonna go for the power generator.
Ready to receive orders.
That would be a good idea because
What?
that's where the scanner
Initiate
is.
attack run.
Crap. I was hoping by targeting there it would come more from this way, but just comes direct opposite.
Copy.
Oh well.
I copy. We've sighted them.
Yeah, so
I copy.
I've noticed the
This
actual,
way.
there's a
Right away.
specific,
Over there.
Underway.
there's like a schema for bombing runs.
Yeah.
When you place the target, they will always approach from the longest possible distance
Yeah.
from the
Almost
target,
there.
Destination set.
What? On the move.
Providing backup.
in a straight line, obviously.
Hmm.
Yes, sir.
No curving the bullet for them.
Proceeding.
No curving the bullet for any hard points, unfortunately, except for missiles. That's one of the awkward things,
Reporting.
and I might have to rework a lot of grenade
Transport
launches
here.
because currently they will just hit terrain a lot. Because if you fire from a hard point, you can't angle the hard point, otherwise it can't fire.
On my way.
It's
Moving out.
horrible.
Right away.
And now the CSA have hundreds of grenade launchers
As you
everywhere,
wish.
so it's really hard to fix that.
Right away.
Right, are we going to be able to take on this turbo laser?
Cannons charged.
We'll cover you.
We're going to take some losses for it, for sure,
Covering
but
fire. Reporting. Orders understood.
we shouldn't lose the whole company.
Yes,
Transport
Commander.
ready.
We are ready and waiting. Yes, sir. On my way, sir. Proceeding.
Juggernaut ready.
Bombardment ready.
At least it's raining, so the turbo laser's less accurate. Whereas your mass drivers are actually still the same accuracy, so you're good.
Well, I still have
Copy
Felicia.
that.
Ready.
Oh, that too, so you don't even have to care about the other
Heading
at all.
out. Yes,
Alright,
Commander.
I didn't bring any infantry, so I'm going to have
Armed
to
and
roll one
ready.
on over.
Spread out, man.
But we do get the sensor.
Reporting in. Fire.
Weapons loaded. Reporting.
More Espos trying to die. Is there a way to make sure a player chooses what path the bombing run takes to the target? No. You can't do that with
What are
bombing
your
runs.
orders?
You can kind of rig it a bit if you know the way it works, which is say it comes from the farthest possible distance. You can kind of adjust it a bit if you have good enough map vision, but it's pretty tough.
Yeah.
Reporting.
But I think he was saying like choose the starting and ending point as a feature.
Yes, sir.
I think that's what he meant, but
Yeah, that's definitely not possible. Bombing runs are
Let's
pretty much
go.
a black box as far as
Keep going.
modders are concerned, unfortunately.
yeah, you'd basically have to have a completely separate thing where you
Transport here.
entirely script how it works, which is
Give me a target.
significantly more complicated.
Transport ready.
Possible but horrible.
Yes, Commander.
Yeah. Like, set up a thing where you have a unit that deploys the markers and then
Walker moving out.
a Lewis script that then tells a new unit that spawns to fly around those markers and shoot and then leave.
Yeah,
But that's...
I've been considering adding in like an OBS unit, an observer unit, which would then specifically be used to call in bombing runs or
Fighter
airstrikes
strikes.
and stuff.
Juggernaut ready.
And
See, that's the
bombardments.
way that we were... That's like the only way that I'd want to do fighters in ground combat, so it's not a permanent
Exactly.
unit, it's just
Target locked. Ready.
stuff that comes.
And it's just a really weak, and you can make the unit that calls them in really weak, so it has to be protected, and you can't just do it anywhere. That kind of you can give it a limited radius from the protected unit, right? Like you can make it a lot like nukes in
Attack
StarCraft.
that target. Prepared to assist.
Would it be possible to add in the ability to warp out individual ships? That is something actually that Thrawn's Revenge already has, Archie.
Armor
Yes,
transport
Thrawn's Revenge
ready.
has that. Phoenix Rising does not, and probably will not, because there's already too much going on in the mod to add in too many more mechanics that are more likely to
Running
reduce
scripts.
performance, and it's bad for the mod, unfortunately.
Yes, Commander.
Um,
This way.
There's a lot of people ask about boarding shuttles and stuff like that. That's a similar problem.
Armed and ready. ready.
A lot of the issues with most of these things is it will often require more unit
Attack that
variance,
target.
and that's a big problem because the more unit variance you add, the slower the game goes. And Phoenix Rising already has a lot of unit variance in it.
Attacking.
All the work you did to optimize would just be gone.
Awaiting your orders.
Yep. I mean, it's already going to start disappearing as I add in the rest of the units for different factions, but I'm trying to mitigate that as much as possible by basically making it worthwhile and having a lot of these like special independent units that are being added in be buildable in specific situations.
At your command.
So currently in this GC, you have a lot of units which are actually buildable
I copy.
if you capture specific planets, specifically like pirate infantry at the most part right now. But there's some other specific units that will become buildable over time. Calm's asking if motivation stacks. No hero bonuses in Phoenix Rising stack. You'll always just get the highest bonus applied.
Warm up. Right away.
And that is now currently elucidated in the hero guide, which was added in the patch today.
Acknowledged.
Awaiting orders. Moving
Okay,
out.
you gotta walk over people if you're gonna live.
Heading out, sir.
Don't be squeamish about it. No, don't like adjust yourself and...
Unit destroyed.
Copy.
It
Walk
didn't
over
work.
people if you want to live.
Proceeding.
I didn't get that. Repeat the order.
I copy.
Sorry,
Oh,
you
well.
can do this, Schwarzenegger, better.
Nah, now there's too much pressure.
Reporting. On my way.
Or I think you need a large invasion army. Yeah, so I've got stuff researching and building. It's just
Moving out.
that all takes a lot longer in PR than in
As you wish.
every other mod. So I'm trying to make do with what we have while that stuff gets done,
Reporting.
so that we're at least on the right track.
Yes,
And
Commander.
as you can tell, it's going really well.
We've almost got the planet. Takes a little bit longer.
Assignment? Affirmative, sir. Awaiting
At least you've
further
had pretty
instructions.
consistent combat on this map, which I'm
Yes, sir.
happy to see.
Systems
Yeah.
operational.
Better than just looking for stuff.
And now you've got the scanner, so you don't even have to look for stuff.
Yep. Oh no.
Yes, Commander.
Oh, that's just gonna be scout bikes. We're fine.
Reporting.
Transport here.
Bombing run.
Yeah, I really need to change out the garrison for the repulsor from the speeder factory, because speeder bikes aren't even built at the speeder factory anymore. In fact, all the garrisons need to be reworked since I added in lower level tech.
Construction.
Like the Walker factory will just spawn ATSTs when it should really be spawning ATPTs or an ATTE or something.
Right away. Armored transport ready.
Oh, actually, you need to get over here, and then you should be able to kill the rest of those.
Reporting in.
They have a lot of Espos.
Yeah. Police
I'm
everywhere.
just looking on the mini map and like, wow, they do have a lot of Espos.
Roger that.
Oh, there goes my
Form up.
repair station.
Awaiting your orders.
Okay, shoot some people. Oh, there's some people you shot. Technically following orders. The best kind of following orders.
I copy.
Probably can't court-martial them.
Ready.
I can try. I can just sell them.
Attacking target.
I guess that's the court-martial.
Fire at will. Going.
Bombardment available. Bombardment incoming.
We stand ready.
Construction complete.
Reporting. Target acquired at your command. All right, men, take cover.
Thankfully,
Yes,
Espos are pretty
Commander.
weak, so you can kill them pretty easily. It just takes a while
Armed
because
and
infantry
ready.
dodge
Attacking.
because they're tiny.
Yes, sir. Commencing attack.
Just gotta take out that barracks behind us when we have a chance.
Yes, sir. Orders received.
On the move.
Heading out. They're within range.
As you wish.
And you guys, I'm actually gonna send this one rolling back our way. Maybe they'll park on someone on their way.
Ready. Awaiting your command.
That's always the goal.
Archie Bunk is asking, when you research advanced levels of units, does it increase the ones in play or just new ones made? Just new ones made. Increasing the ones in play would require a hell of a lot of scripting that would just, again, slow the game down. But it affects units built galaxy-wide. So if you do research on Kuat, it will affect units built on
At your
Celeste.
command. Blow them away.
And research can't be destroyed. So you can lose research if it is cancelled before it completes, but you don't lose if your research planet is captured. You don't lose the research that you've already completed.
Alright, here comes the Juggernaut, speeding through, slowing down to take the corner, stopping,
Awaiting orders.
turning slightly, missing those guys, and not running anyone over except the one lone dude.
Let's go.
Super effective.
What is your request?
What a letdown.
Repair
Copy.
station
Yes,
constructing.
Commander.
I copy.
But these guys
Going.
can actually come over now. Is
Orders.
there anyone else? Yeah, there's just a few people running around randomly.
Initiate attack run.
Reporting. This way.
Ready. Initiate bombing run.
Yes, sir.
Construction complete.
Armor transport ready. Target moving to
So I
attack.
don't think we've lost any... well, actually, we have lost one unit of some kind.
Targets engaged.
I think, based on the pop cap.
Maximum firepower.
But that might just be because we've lost enough to get the pop cap out. Okay,
Transport here.
you're rolling
Over
through.
there.
Can you roll over someone?
Acknowledged.
No?
Firing.
Oh well.
Reporting in. Roger that.
Okay, let's take out this barracks before they send in more.
Attack. Providing backup.
It looks like you've nearly cleaned the map out, so that's good.
Yep.
Fire.
And then it'll be
You
in the
see,
back
this
of our
wasn't such a
territory,
terrible
so
experience on this map.
Transport ready.
Form up. Open fire.
bringing back all the bad memories.
Juggernaut ready.
Awaiting your orders.
Espos everywhere.
Armored transport ready.
Soon to be happening in ICW as well.
True.
That was one of the more effective TIE bombing runs I've seen.
I wasn't paying attention.
It actually damaged the barracks quite a lot.
Attack! Attack!
Yeah, I don't think there was much for it to shoot at on the way there, so none of the cooldowns were wasted.
Attack that target.
Yeah, basically it's kind of set to just use up its entire magazine as fast as possible. So it's kind of different to standard bombers. And in general, the bombers need to be, their actual weapons need to be rebalanced anyway because they're currently way too weak, really. Like if one of those proton torpedoes hits something, the thing should probably just die. So
I think if I take out the
Especially
shield, they'll retreat.
Bombardment incoming.
quite probably, yeah. There's the shield generator on the opposite side of the map, though.
Yeah, I just gotta get this guy to
Run available.
mosey his way on over.
Commencing bombing run. Yes, sir. This way. Commencing bombing run. Right out, man.
Incendiary grab.
Attacking.
Copy.
We've sighted
Enemy in sight. Activating attack systems.
Are these actually the last infantry anyways?
Ready.
Here,
following your lead.
Destination
park on
set.
them. Oh, so close. Stop scattering from my super crusher.
Moving out. As you wish. Right away.
Yeah, infantry would be a little too squishy if we didn't give them that rapid run
Yeah,
away from
there we go.
vehicles.
Vacuumed them all up.
System control achieved.
Alright, Moonlist is now ours. You seem like a good place to build
Building
banks
started.
and mining facilities.
Building under construction.
And that's gonna be a little bit there, yeah. Alright, so
Juggernaut.
Upgrade complete.
what?
Just the way that Juggernaut was just going around in little circles, running
Oh,
everywhere.
yeah. I forgot this is on a bit more of a delay than usual. But yeah, actually that is probably the first episode actually. So we took Moonlist. Next episode for we're gonna keep going with the stream. I'm just saying this for the benefit of the people watching the VODs later. But so continuing on with the stream, and in the next episode we're probably gonna go for Jameis. So I'm just gonna click stop recording and then